Welcome back, amazing business owners, entrepreneurs, photographers, creators. Welcome back to everyone. I'm so glad that I am able to visit you in your earbuds today, or maybe on the speaker in your car. Thanks so much for push and play. We are going to talk today about some tips for either homeschooling or hybrid schooling or online schooling or whatever the heck you're doing right now. We're all in a bit of a chaotic place right now, right? Schools are doing all sorts of different things with their schedules. No one's really sure which way is up. Now, I want to give you a little bit of a heads up. When I recorded this episode, I had originally created a very, very long episode. And if you listen to the last one, number 43, then you're going to hear kind of an abrupt ending because this is the second part. So they were all recorded at once. It's going to sound like we kind of just rush into this one for that reason. So I just wanted you to know that you haven't missed anything. You didn't accidentally hit fast forward. That is how the format for this one is going to be, just because of the way it was recorded. Today, we are going to talk about how you can keep your sanity when you are trying to run a business and school your kids at home in some fashion. We all have like hybrid schools and online schools and homeschools. And if your kids are in school full time, then high five. You are awesome. And I'm super happy for you, but not all of us are able to do that right now. And so we're kind of facing some craziness. So we're going to talk about giving yourself grace and asking for help and some ideas and how you can ask for help, things you can get help with, planning your day, working backwards, and letting go of expectations. Just all things that we really need to work on kind of overall, even if you're not schooling kids, even if you don't have kids. I promise you, even if you don't have kids, today's episode is going to be full of value and things that you can do to help your business, even when your attention is divided, even if it's not with kids. Maybe it's with other family members. Maybe it's with other responsibilities, other jobs, things like that. Today is going to be full of value. So, as always, if you love this episode, can you do me a huge favor? Head on over to iTunes and leave a review. I so appreciate it. It will help us to know what you need help with. It helps us get guests on the podcast. And I just want to hear what you're loving, what your ahas are, what your takeaways. So you can either screenshot a review and send it on over. We have a free gift for you, a little special gift. Or you can screenshot you listening to the podcast, share it on Instagram, and tag me at Business Straight Up. Not a story, please, because I don't see those right away. Just tag me in a post, and I would love to know what you take away from this episode. I am so excited to walk with you through this season. This is a crazy season, something that we've never experienced before, but you know what? You kick ass, you're a badass, and you can do this. So let's head right in. Hey there, awesome people. I am Brooke Summer, and you are listening to Business Straight Up, the podcast for creative entrepreneurs to learn, connect, grow, and build the business and life that they dream of. Welcome, let's get going and dive right in. We are going to walk through a few of my top tips when it comes to creating schedules for your family, as well as partnering those schedules with homeschooling or hybrid schooling or regular schooling, whatever you are facing right now. So these are some of my top tips on how to schedule your days. Tip number 1, give yourself grace. Oh my gosh, I'm just going to say this again. Give yourself grace. Imagine that your best friend, your sister, or even your grown daughter years from now called you up and she was crying and she was facing the same things that you're facing right now. She's confused. She is scared. She is frustrated. She is overwhelmed and she is freaking the F out. And you are listening to her on the phone and just feeling your heart ache for her. I want you to give yourself the same amount of grace that you would give to her. I want you to tell yourself the same things that you would tell her. You're doing a great job. You're doing the best you can. And we will all get through this. We will figure it out because we are badasses. And while our country is being run by people who have no clue, we are in the trenches and loving our kids and running businesses and figuring all of this shit out. Can I get an amen? You can do this, mama. When you have had a bad day and you just want to cry in bed, set a timer. Cry in bed for 15 minutes. Maybe your kids want to cry with you. Maybe you can all just hold each other and cry together, because you know what? This is hard. This is not our norm. This is not what we're used to. But when that timer goes off and those 15 minutes are up, I want you to sit up straight, get your kids up, wipe your nose, start telling jokes with your kids to lighten the mood a little bit, and move forward. What you focus on and pay attention to is what will happen in your life. So don't wallow in the hard, or you will see more of it. Honor it, feel it, and move forward. Give yourself the grace and the room to grow and learn, because that is what this year will be for all of us. Tip number 2, ask for help. And actually, I'm going to partner that with ask for help and let go of control, and then actually accept the help that you're given. Oh man, I feel like we need another deep breath break here. Raise your hand if you have big plans for things, and when they don't go according to your plan, you're frustrated. My hand is up. I know you guys can't see me, but me too. When it comes to approaching things that are difficult, though, sometimes we need to let go of those plans and be flexible. Ask for help. I am so freaking blessed and grateful to have family nearby. I don't know how we would do all of this without that, but you know what? We would figure it out. And yes, I know that not everyone has that blessing, but chances are you have someone that you can ask for help. Maybe it's a neighbor, maybe it's a friend. Maybe you can swap kids with a friend once a week to have an entire day to yourself. I remember when my son was young and an only child, when he was about 5 or 6 years old, I was part of a babysitting co-op. It was a group of friends who watched each other's kids so we could have time to run errands. Now, my friends did not have the family nearby, so I watched more kids than not because I had the family nearby, and if we went out, we would just work with family. My friends didn't have that, and one told me once that she felt like she was bothering me. You guys, my son was an only child for the first 10 years of his life. Having a kid to play with was a dream come true for him. It wasn't a bother at all. I was more than happy to have those kids over, and I never even thought twice about it. Are you leaving to take your kids to the park? Do you have a neighbor with kids of similar ages? Can you call them and offer to bring their kids too? Talk to your friends. I know that learning pods are popping up all over the place with teachers, but there are costs involved. And if you can do that, that's awesome. But if you can't, just talk with one friend. How glorious would it be to have one day a week where you can work consistently without interruption? Or maybe you take that one day a week where you can actually have some time to yourself and you can eat what you want without sharing, and you can eat when you want, and you can shower without someone popping in constantly to be the referee in a fight between kids. Running a business with kids at home constantly is not easy, and it is not for the faint of heart, but there are ways to get help even without a ton of family around. And then the key to this one is, of course, accepting the help. Why is that so hard for so many of us? When someone offers to do something for you, accept the offer and say thank you. Reciprocate when you can. And if you're in a season where you can't, then follow up later. We all have seasons of need and seasons of abundance. And right now, with everything happening, so many of us need help. Maybe you have a friend who's offered to watch the kids for a while you run an errand, and you've never taken her up on it. Why the heck not? This goes for your partner too. Maybe your partner has offered to do something, but they don't do it the way that you would do it, so you just do it yourself. Ladies, I am telling you, you have to let this go. Maybe guys too. Let it go. Decide on the way things will be done together so that he can take things over when necessary and you're on the same page. My husband and I went through this recently when we were planning what homeschooling our kindergartner would actually look like. He got frustrated with me because ever the systems and efficiency lady over here, I wanted to put into place a system that we could all follow so that anything could be handed off if we needed help. It took some time up front. It took admittedly more time than if we had just done the curriculum as it was written. But now we have a system that we can hand to grandparents, to friends. We have all of the materials together with resources that are noted and ready to go. We have checklists so we know what was done and what wasn't, so that we could see where we are at any given time. Now, this will be an entire episode itself, but allowing someone else to help and actually having a system so that they can help is so crazy valuable. And I know I've talked about this in your business before, but this goes for your personal and your home life as well. Having your partner involved in the process means that we're both invested. You could both be invested in the process. And for us, we were both invested. We both had ideas to put into place. We can both communicate that to others. Yes, we can both hand it off. Today, he took the kids to his parents' house because it's their day to have them, and he was able to walk them through everything. I didn't have to be there. Do you know how crazy that is? I did not have to be there because we were both a part of the process, and he could walk them through. I could record this episode for you instead. He could walk them through everything because we built it together. And I accepted his offer to take something off of me, something that had previously fallen onto my shoulders and was kind of overwhelming. Under this little tip number 2 of asking for and accepting help, I debated adding this in because it's another type of help that isn't necessarily parenting specific or not even really business specific, but asking for help and accepting the help means outsourcing too. Did you know that you can hire someone to take things off of your plate so that you can focus elsewhere? I know. You've probably heard this before, but it is true and so freaking necessary even in this chaotic time. You can get help in ways that some of us have never even thought of. And sometimes the help that you need may not even be in your business or may not even be with parenting. House cleaners, assistants, mother's helpers, grocery delivery, and more. Please, please, please get help where you can and help others where you can too. We will do a whole nother episode on this when it comes to business specifically because I got a lot to say when it comes to this. But I wanted to add this in because I really want you to know that help isn't always how we think of it, and it can show up in so many different ways. Ladies and dads, guys, if you're listening, it is time to stop with this illusion of doing it all and ask for and accept the help that we are offered, whether it's from our parents, our family, our friends, our neighbors. It's time to actually build that village that we all talk about. Remember that phrase, it takes a village? So where is this damn village? If we don't see it, why aren't we building it ourselves? So many of us are craving this connection, this help, this encouragement. So let's build it together. We are amazing, badass women who can do so much, but imagine the freedom and the peace that we could have if we actually accepted help with all of it. We just need an amen in here. Let's take another deep breath. Because I know that accepting that help can be so difficult, and I am in the same boat. So I so feel you on this one. Moving on to tip number 3. I want you to plan your day the night beforehand. I know that most gurus say to plan your week on Sunday night, and I get that. And I actually do it too. I have a high-level overview. I look at meals. I look at appointments, make sure that we have all of the groceries we need, all that good stuff. But can we just be real for a moment and say that shit happens last minute and Sunday night isn't always going to cut it? Especially when it comes to school schedules being all over the place right now. Sometimes we need to have more flexibility with our scheduling. There are times that this won't be possible. For instance, if you have a client appointment the next day, as a business owner, you can't just cancel unless there's an emergency or a really good reason. But when it comes to homeschooling or being a CEO with your kids at home, I really want to encourage you to spend the 5 minutes, look at your tomorrow before going to bed. Even better if you can do it with your partner, but if you can't, do it for yourself. I used to hold on to so much resentment that he didn't want to plan with me. And you know what? It wasn't hurting anyone but me. Do it for yourself. So what exactly does this look like? Here are some examples. Do the kids have enrichment or another homeschool co-op thing tomorrow? If so, do they need snacks, lunches, masks, hand sanitizer? What can you gather now to make your morning easier? Do you have a client appointment tomorrow? Do you have someone watching the kids tomorrow during the appointment? Do you have a place for the dogs? I know that sounds silly, but if the weather is bad, my dogs can't go outside. I need to make sure that they have a spot. Sometimes it's a huge help for whoever's helping you to get a quick text reminder. Can you text the people watching your kids to touch base? If you feel weird doing this, like you're trying to micromanage them, please put it on you. I will often text the people in my life saying something like, hey, things are crazy right now and I want to make sure I don't forget anything. I have a client tomorrow and I wanted to double check that I wrote this down correctly. We show the kids are with you tomorrow, right? That's it. It's not about micromanaging someone. It's about the fact that people are human and people forget. And you want to make sure that your day can run smoothly. Planning ahead will help you with that. Do you need to pick out clothes for the kids tomorrow to avoid the crazy rush in the morning? Are shoes where they need to be? Why is it that shoes in our house disappear? What the hell is up with that? No one can find them when they need them. Do you need your clothes for tomorrow? Do you have the client things ready that you need for tomorrow? The things that you need to review, the tools that you may need for your client appointment? What is your partner responsible for? They might appreciate a reminder too. I know sometimes we just forget things. It happens, especially right now. Our brains are exhausted. We have been through a lot right now, and sometimes we just need someone to reach out and remind us. Are you going to the gym tomorrow? Do you have yoga tomorrow? Do you need to make sure that you have your water bottle with you? Do you need to throw your yoga bag in the car? Do you have a mask in your purse? How many times have we forgotten masks? I know I have. Oh, shoot. There's a vet appointment tomorrow that I totally forgot about. Do I need to figure out who's taking the dogs to the vet? For the full homeschooling parents, what is the curriculum for tomorrow? Is the weather going to be gorgeous? Maybe we should switch it up and do more outside and save the inside stuff for when it's going to rain the next day. For the hybrid parents, are the devices that someone needs fully charged and ready to go? Is the schedule on the wall or written out for the kids? Do we have folders with all of their assignments? What is going to happen tomorrow? How can you better prepare for tomorrow so that tomorrow runs smoothly? When you are planning for your business specifically, I want you to choose your top 3 or 5 tasks that you absolutely must get done for the next day. Do this the night before. Don't work from a huge to-do list. Well, I know I shouldn't, and I'm speaking to myself here too, but I actually do. The reason though is because my never-ending to-do list are the random things that come into my brain like at 11:30 at night or in the shower, and I can just tell my phone to add them. My to-do list is crazy long, but every day I choose 3 to 5 tasks from that list to focus on. It really helps me to stay focused. And at the end of the day, even if you couldn't do much because you were interrupted or you were helping a kiddo with school stuff or whatever, if you get those 3 to 5 tasks done, success, pat on the back. Know what these tasks are before the day actually starts so that you can do them first thing in the morning. Yes, that means do not check your email or social media until they are done. That is hard, right? But it helps you prioritize your day and really know what's most important so that you can get those things done first. Let's be real. You can check email with the kids around. I don't recommend it, but if you had to respond to emails while you throw on Frozen 2 for the 800th time or help with words your kiddos don't know while they're reading independently, you can. Email does not usually take 100% of your mental brain power to do, nor does social media. Make sure to prioritize the tasks that really take your full attention while you will not be interrupted and what those tasks are before your day actually begins. Spending just 5 to 10 minutes the night before to review your calendar and figure everything out can be so valuable and can make the next day go so much easier. It is time that is so well spent, and I promise it will help the overwhelm at least a little. All right, on to tip number 4. Work backwards. I actually cannot take credit for this one, you guys. I learned this from my amazing assistant, Anne. She has 7 children. 7. And all of them were homeschooled. 7. That number just keeps popping up in my head. 7. Sorry, I have to keep saying this because holy badass mom, right? When we had to actually go full on homeschool instead of the online hybrid, I freaked out. What the heck? I can't teach physics. I'm not a scientist. I do not have a scientific brain, and I'm okay with that. I accept myself as I am. I'm a creator. I'm a businesswoman. She taught me in my freak out panic moment to always work backwards. My son wants to be a pilot. She said, call the airline or his final goal, destination, wherever he wants to go, and ask what they require. I probably looked at her like she had just slapped me in the face because, duh, why hadn't I thought of that? It never even dawned on me to do that. And she is so brilliant and so good at this. Most people are more than happy to share this information because they want awesome employees or team members. Then call the colleges that he wants to go to and ask what they require. Again, more than happy to share. These schools are so happy to help. The school that my son wants to go to even offered to look over the class list and curriculum that we were looking at to make sure it was a good fit. And they guided us on which classes to choose. Seriously, they basically told us which classes to pick. There were 2 science classes. We were torn. We knew that one is more of a higher level, but it didn't really fit in what he wanted to do. And they guided us. They helped us. Let's think about this from a business perspective. If you, as a CEO, knew exactly what you wanted in an excellent team member and someone who was in a position of, let's say, 5 years before wanting to work with you, contacted you to ask what they could do or learn now to be a great team member, wouldn't you want to help? I know I would. I would share exactly what I look for and what I hire for and what school or resources I would want someone to have or have access to. It might take some homework and a few phone calls. You might have to figure out who to call, but most companies and schools are happy to give someone this information. It is not a secret. When it comes to the younger kids, it's a little different. They're probably not going to have career goals yet beyond astronaut, mermaid, ballerina, veterinarian. Yes, that is my daughter's career goal at 5 years old. Astronaut, mermaid, ballerina, veterinarian. I'm not even going to tell her it's not possible because you know what, girl? It sounds good to me. But even with this, you can still work backwards. My daughter is now in kindergarten this year. When we were deciding whether to homeschool or do regular school, we looked at all of the options. And in the end, we decided to homeschool because of the current situation. But we want her to have some regular school if possible because we see the benefits. So we looked at first grade entrance requirements from the state and the school district. If she goes to a regular school for first grade after all of this, what will she need to know and be up to date on? And that is exactly what we are teaching this year. It sounds so simple, right? But so many of us don't do it. Actually, beyond that, because she was already past some of the kindergarten stuff when reading and math and stuff like that, we looked at even going beyond that and looking at the second grade requirements and things like that. But the point is, when you're lost and you're not sure what to work with and what the heck do I do, look at the end goal. Is the end goal to have your kid in second grade at a standard school next year, but you have to keep them home this year? Then teach everything they would need to know to succeed next year. Really, when you think about it, this works in business too. Do you want that 6-figure business? What does that actually look like when it comes to clients and bookings and team members and all the things? Look at the end goal, the destination, then figure out what you need to do to get to that place. Work backwards. It sounds so silly and basic when you say it, but so many of us, myself included, we love to overcomplicate things. Look at the destination. Look at where you want to be and then figure out what you need to do to get there successfully. And as I said in numbers 1 and 2, accept that the path that you choose isn't necessarily going to happen the way that you expect. Give yourself grace. Ask for and accept the help you need to make it happen. Another deep breath. On to tip number 5. Let go of expectations. I just needed another deep breath after that one. Does anyone else feel like this should be the mantra for 2020? Oh my gosh, so many hopes and dreams and expectations for this year have been shot to hell, y'all. But the reality is that so often we have expectations that are shot and just dead in the water because then something so much better comes along. When one door closes, another door opens, and a lot of times it is way better than we ever thought possible. If you expected to send your kids to school in the fall and be able to work on your business and now you can't, let it go. You can't control it. Focusing on the unfairness or frustrating aspects of it all will never serve you. It will never get you to where you want to be. Feel the feels, be angry or upset or frustrated, honor those feelings, and then let them go and move forward. Let go of the expectations you had and change things up. Pivot, switch it up. Make the changes you need. Can't work on your business all day while the kids are at school? How about every afternoon? Can you figure out a day to switch with a friend so you have a full 8 hours to work and turn off social media and email completely? Imagine what you could get done. This year, both the calendar year of 2020 and this school year that we have just started are not like we thought they would be. And you know what? They're probably going to change even more, especially as we roll into this election and another potential spike in cases and just more and more craziness and chaos added on. Let go of your expectations. Give yourself grace and know that you can do this. We have so many resources now, more than ever, and you are so freaking powerful. You are exactly where you need to be, here to learn all that you need to learn and to help your kids. The most important piece in all of this is to emerge from this year, this pandemic, and this school year with grace, forgiveness, and kids that know that they are loved, valued, and safe. If you let go of every other expectation, focus on that. So just to recap, let's go through those 5 tips for CEOs who are facing alternative school choices this year. First of all, number 1, give yourself grace. Treat yourself like you would your best friend or your grown daughter. Number 2, ask for help and let go of control and actually accept the help. Stop trying to do it all yourself all the time. Number 3, plan your day the night before. Spend those 5 to 10 minutes to look at your day and plan accordingly. It will make the next day go so much smoother. Number 4, work backwards. Look at the destination and get details so that you know how to get there. Number 5, let go of expectations. You may have had big plans for this year and your plans feel shot. Let go of the expectations and ride the waves of chaos, girl. Ride them to thrive. Years ago, I was watching an online class on Creative Live and a student asked a very well-known educator who does not have children how to work on her business while she still had little ones at home. This educator, whom I absolutely adore, this is not a diss towards her whatsoever, she responded with, and I'm paraphrasing here, focus on your kids while they're little since it doesn't stay that way forever. As a mom of 2 kids, 10 years apart in age, who is now homeschooling both, I would have to respectfully disagree. My business and the success and profitability that I've had in my business is what has allowed me to be with my kids in the way that I have for several years now. Figuring out how to make it work and be profitable, even with kids at home, has been huge in designing my life so that I can be with my kids in a way that so many other parents can't. I didn't have that when my son was younger, and I have intentionally designed my business and my life to allow for that now. I understand that not every mom wants to be a stay-at-home mom, and if I'm being real, I don't love it either. I am not your ideal stay-at-home mom. I told you, I did not sit there pregnant with my kids going, oh, I can't wait to homeschool them. Oh my gosh, no. That's not me. I am kind of a somewhere in between mom. I don't want to be working 40 to 50 hours a week away from my kids, but I don't want to be a full stay-at-home mom either. And really, that's the beauty of owning your own business. You get to make the rules. You set the standards and you decide how and what you want to do when it comes to your business. Please, for your family, for yourself, and for your business, step into the CEO role in your business. Be the visionary your business needs. Outsource, get help where necessary, accept help when offered so that you can fully step into the CEO role and really take care of yourself and your family. I want to end this with another note of encouragement because I feel like we all need them. If you're a parent, no matter what option you were given and chose for this school year, you are doing a great job. You're doing the best you can. And the fact that you're even here listening to this shows that you give a shit, that you care, and that you really want to make this work. If you're not a parent, can I just ask you a huge favor to check on your friends and family who have kids right now? To check on them and just reach out and send them a text and say, hey, I know this is hard. I'm thinking of you. Do you need some wine? Or, I don't know, whatever you bring to your friends. Do you need some friend time? Check on them because it's a difficult season, but you know what? We will all get through it. And the more that we encourage each other and love on each other and cheer each other on, no matter what stage of life we're in, the better we will be after all of this. We all need a little extra encouragement and love right now. And I really, really hope that this episode has landed in your ears and given you a little bit Have a deep breath moment so that you know and you can start to embrace the fact that this is happening for you and not to you, and we will all get through this. As always, if you loved this episode, can you head on over to iTunes and leave a review? I would so appreciate it. I feel like I forget to ask that in most of my episodes, and I would love to know exactly what you need help with, where I can help, what I can teach you, the information that I can share. And those reviews also help me to get amazing guests on the podcast to give you even more. If you can head over to iTunes, leave a review. You can even pause right now if you want to. And then come back. Did you pause? If you screenshot your review, email it over to hello@businessstraightup.com. I'll send you a free gift. I hope that you have an absolutely amazing day. Know that we are all in this together. I know people don't like that phrase because some people have more resources than others, and I get that, but we are all in this storm and we will all figure it out. I wish you all the love and success in the world, and I can't wait to see your business thrive. Thank you so much for listening to Business Straight Up. I'm so glad that you could join us today. Check out the show notes for this and all of the episodes at businessstraightuppodcast.com. And I can't wait to talk with you again. Have a great day.